Over here! I need help. I was swept overboard in a storm and found myself washed up in this terrifying land. What happened? I must find my ship. I must find Nanarel, my father. Are you real or just another spirit? I am Landervel, first mate on the opulent Gale. My father, Nanarel, is the ship's captain. We were trapped in a horrible storm. I fell into the churning sea. I was dragged under the waves, blacked out, and awoke nearby in a ship's graveyard. I need to find my father and my ship. When I last saw him, he was at the wheel, clutching his treasured belongings, a locket, a spyglass, and the ship's logbook. Our ship must have run aground. We need to find him. Oh, thank you. I fled from ghosts in Daedra when I came ashore and heard one of them call it Fathoms Drift. I will not leave this place before I track down my father and our ship. Surely he survived the storm. My father has captained the opulent Gale since I was a boy. He built the ship with his own 2 hands. I may never be the captain he'd hoped I'd be, but I'll never forget how alive I felt knowing he was at the wheel. This place? I don't know where we are. There was a storm and a great wave and my father shouting. Yes, he was shouting at the storm. Hermaeus Mora. High elves don't deal with Daedra, but he's known among the sailors as Hermes Mora, the Tide King. He carries many names, but he lives deep beneath the waves. Could my father have angered him somehow?
This way, friend. Scroot told me to meet you here, but I wasn't expecting all the spirits. It's good to see you, friend. I was surprised when Scroot appeared, and I hoped she would send me somewhere not quite so otherworldly, but I never hesitated. I'm happy to assist you. Still, if we can avoid those reality tears, I'd be grateful. Yes, but I'm not sure I understood it all. Apparently you have a map that's also a Daedric relic? Scroot says you need to get it to something immersed in the energy of Mephola. That will restore its power. Have you seen Laramil recently? Her regards? She did? What were Laramil's exact words, friend? No, not now. We're in Apocrypha, and we have a task before us. We must get your map to something sacred to Mephola. As luck would have it, Scroot knows of a ship here in Fathoms Drift called Stormspinner. It was carrying items sacred to followers of Mephola, and she thinks you can use them to restore the relic. The ship should be to the north. Let's go find it. Scroot said that the ship was overloaded with amulets, statuettes, and other Mephola paraphernalia. But we're looking for bolts of silk cloth spun by devout worshippers of the Lady of Whispers. The ship was lost at sea and wound up here. Fathoms Drift. Imagine the horrors that have washed
The
upon
wrecked
its
ships
shores.
are ahead, through these sea caves. Look for my father's belongings. If we find them, we'll likely find him as well. My father treasured this locket. He wore it on every voyage for good luck. He would never leave it behind. But it is marked with the symbol of Hermes Mora. I never noticed that before.
Stand close and let me shield you. Laramil's gift protects us both. Those bolts of cloth. That must be the Mephala silk that Scroot wanted us to find. Did it work? I think it worked. The relic is restored.
I recognize this. Father's spyglass. But its lens is cracked and useless.
Landovelle, my boy! You're alive! I'm so relieved!
Father, is that you? Are you... this ghost?
You brought my son here. I thought I lost him. For that, you have my thanks. I'm Nanarel, captain of the Opulent Gale. My son's been restored to me. We must complete the pact before this gift is taken back. I watched my son swept overboard. He would drown in the storm. I appealed to a greater power, but didn't complete the ritual. We must finish the task, lest he perish again. You must sacrifice 3 tokens from my past. Logbook, spyglass, and locket at the unquenchable brazier near the entrance to the sea caves to seal the pact. Do this for us. You brought my son here. I thought I lost him. For that, you have my thanks.
I am alive. I should be dead. I need time to think all this over. Let's gather the items my father's spirit spoke of and go back to the brazier where you found me. That's my father's handwriting. And someone else's as well. What does it mean? My father traded his life for mine.
Let me tell you all, my friend. Then you can cast the items into the flames and complete my pact. I will tell you everything. Of my relationship to the Daedric Prince, and what I did to save my son. The pact was with Hermas Mora, who sleeps with his secrets in the depths. I had learned an incantation to entreat with him from an ancient sailor, and inscribed the summoning into my logbook. When I saw my child swept away in the storm, I knew he would perish. And I invoked the pact. Hermas Mora heard my prayers and answered. At a cost. My son was saved, but I am fated to serve as Hermas Mora's guide in this land of lost souls. You must burn the relics of my past, so I exist only in memory. Sacrifice the spyglass, logbook, and locket in the brazier. These items represent my past. Place them in the sacred flame to finalize my pact and seal my fate. Should Hermes Mora rescind his offer, Landovel will perish. With this glass, I beheld Hermes Mora rising from the sea in response to my evocation. It nearly shattered my mind. So horrid was his visage. The book invokes the pact I made. I transcribed the spell into it. When I spoke the words aloud, Hermes Mora's writing appeared beneath it, agreeing to the deal. Burning the book and the other items finalizes my agreement. Unless it is fed to the brazier, there is still a chance Hermes Mora would return my son to the depths and let him drown. Ah, that is a treasured totem of my past life, of my lovely wife and devoted son. It is marked by the hand of Hermes Mora when he agreed to spare my son's life. You've heard what I have to say. Now place the sacrifices into the flame.
The logbook. Why didn't it burn? I don't understand. How is this possible? Hermes Mora has changed the bargain. It now reads, "Let Nanarel, or the memory of him, become my guide for the drowned dead." The words, "or the memory of him," are new. What does this mean? You mean to suggest Hermes Mora wants me to forget my own father? Forget our time together? Surely I would never... No, I will do it. If it means my father will return to the mortal plane, I will do whatever it takes. Hermes Mora will trade my memories for my father's life. I would forget him, but he would live. Yes. Give me the book.
I would rather perish than let my son forget me. Let me seal the pact. I'm unsure how you came to help my son, but I'm indebted to you, stranger. Give me the book, so I may finish this. I made my choice the moment my son was swept overboard. Hermes Mora honored his side of the deal. I will honor mine. And I should have a son forget his father? I would rather perish, literally. Let me honor the original promise I made. My son is stubborn, but he offers too much. Give me the logbook.
Traveler, give me the book. I will gladly trade my memories for his life. My father put everything on the line to save me. But I cannot let him die. Not if there's a better alternative. Should I hesitate when my father made the same choice? This isn't what I wanted. But my memories seem a small price to pay for his life. Give me the book.
I'm unsure how you came to help my son, but I'm indebted to you, stranger. I am. I made my choice the moment my son was swept overboard. And I should have a son forget his father? I would rather perish, literally. Let me honor the original promise I made. My son is stubborn, but he offers too much. Give me the logbook. My son is disappointed, but you respected my wishes, and for that, I am in your debt. Let me offer some small reward for your aid. And know that, should you find yourself in these lands again, my spirit will always be with you. Hear me, Hermes Mora, my liege. Seal our pact for eternity. We rebuke your other offer.
My father. Gone. I have no words. I am grateful for your assistance, Traveler. Please, leave me with my grief. Would this have gone differently? Had I never requested your aid? I'm sorry. Leave me to my thoughts, and to my memories. To be honest, I'm not sure. I suppose you're right. Still, I am left to mourn a loss that did not have to be. At least I will still remember him. I should thank you for helping me find out what happened to him. And to me. Would this have gone differently? Had I never requested your aid? I'm sorry. Leave me to my thoughts, and to my memories.
Overseer was supposed to meet me hours ago. You there, do you work here? As a notary for the Quama Consortium of Necrom, I demand that you explain why production has halted. Are you aware of the irreparable harm this is inflicting on our image? The Consortium will be none too pleased. Apologies, Traveler. I came on a little strong there. I'm an auditor sent to inspect Anchor Egg Mine. It's been a few days since their last shipment, and the higher-ups are growing restless. Please, this isn't the first workers' strike I've negotiated. Wait, you don't think something dangerous happened here, do you? Well, I have expense funds for this assignment. Might I hire you as a bodyguard while I perform my audit? I'm required to inform you that as a contractor for the Quama Consortium, you are held to the highest standards of conduct. But on a personal note, thank you. Now, we'll need to inspect the pens, speak with the Overseer, and take note of the Queen. It's routine, really. Whenever the Consortium believes a mine is operating below standards, they send along an auditor to run an inspection. This usually entails the Overseer providing a comprehensive tour of the Quama pens and the mine's queen. Ulfengar. I've met him once before, back when the mine was first opened. Nord fellow, tough as rocks and sweet as salt, but a hard worker. You want that in an Overseer. To be honest, I'm surprised he's late. It's definitely out of the ordinary. I haven't the faintest idea. I was only sent along to conduct an audit, though the Consortium did seem rather on edge. They said I should expect to hear all sorts of excuses, from cave-ins to cultists. Laughable, I know, but it's part of the job. I shouldn't jump to conclusions, especially when I haven't had the chance to assess anything yet. But yes, my employers certainly seem to think so. After all, not every worker keeps their company's best interests in mind. Oh yes, a healthy Quama queen is as good as gold around here. Their eggs are a staple food for Dark Elves. The Consortium outfits these mines with the best tools and workers money can buy. The Quama Consortium of Necrom oversees the care and husbandry of egg mines on the peninsula. Their export of eggs is second to none, but even one mine operating below expectations can lead to grumbles among shareholders. Myself and others like me, yes, auditors, adjusters if you will, we assess the egg mines to ensure they continue to meet the Consortium's production standards. Though that's certainly not to say I'm irreplaceable. Anchor Egg is a particularly important mine. It may seem dramatic, but I'm convinced any failure here will result in my dismissal. It isn't easy for an outsider like myself to be accepted into a Talvani business, so yes, I'm a bit worried.
You made it! I was worried one of those reality tears got you. Laramil and that floating ball of eyes told me to meet you here. They explained all about the reality tears. They sound terrible. What's going to befall us next, I wonder? She did. According to Scroot, there's an old forge deep within the mine that's dedicated to Boethia. Laramil and her believe that if you present the sword at the forge, Daedric energy will once more flow into the blade. The entrance to Boethia's forge should be somewhere in the northeast section of the mine. Boethia created Abolisher, so it stands to reason that a forge built to honor her might be able to restore it. Master blacksmiths dedicated the forge back when Daedric worship was more widespread. It became a Qualma mine much more recently.
Qualma
always make me uncomfortable. Let's find the forge and get out of here.
What happened here? Each other apart. Look, a notice on the pen. Let's see what it says. Green eye core. Could that be the source of this frenzy? This whole hive.
Should be around here somewhere. That's the forge. Ever notice that no matter how ancient, Daedric stuff never really changes? Anyway, dip Abolisher into the hot coals. Abolisher. It surges with power again.
Lower your weapons. I only want to talk. I see you are still at the beck and call of the lying Prince of Fate. I do not seek to be your enemy, mortal. Before we irreversibly cross a threshold from which there is no return, I would reach an understanding between us. Existence? You speak of it as though it was sacrosanct. But my prince was locked away and erased from existence by your smug and sanctimonious patron. Forgotten by all. I fixed that. But when we tried to restore our realm, our home, you opposed us. No different from what Mora and the other princes did in that distant millennium. Think of what could have been accomplished had not the Prince of Parts been vanquished from history. Do you not see? Just stand aside and let events flow as they may. As I feared, Hermaeus Mora sees so much, but has blinded you. I respect you, mortal. Do what you must, and I shall do the same. Perhaps when reality has been rewritten, and a new Miramor arises, you will have a different opinion. Consider what I have said. We Daedra may be immutable, but you mortals are not.
It has made short work of this egg mine.
Begging for Lord Perryite's mercy.
Gods, all this destruction, all this suffering. Why are they doing this?
And Ceyond.
irreparable harm to this egg mine. But at least you dealt with their leader. Thank you. What have they done to her? The mine is dead without its queen. Perhaps we can still harvest... Thank you. The consortium may be able to rebuild the hive with that. Poor thing. From my notes, I think this was Gyne, one of the chief egg hens. Is she... Oh, no.
Is someone down there? Please, help us!
Someone's alive? Let's hurry.
Now you are a welcome sight. Please tell me the way out of here is clear. We were starting to lose any hope of escape. Show us bones. I ask for aid and they send an auditor. At this rate there won't be a mine left to audit. I'm Overseer Ulfengar. The egg tenders behind me are Morsa and Barlock. We barely managed to escape the Quama, let alone those damned cultists. Yes, I sent word days ago asking for more guards. We first saw them sneaking around the mine, but now they've broken in somewhere near the hatchery. They've whipped the Quama into a frenzy, and I'm worried they're trying to poison the clutch.
Overseer. I'm glad you all made it out. With your expertise in the Queen's pheromone gland, we should be able to reopen the mine in...
Reopen the mine? After the Consortium left us to die? To sovereign God with this mine. You've got the Queen's gland, re-queen the mine yourself. We're leaving.
Ulfingar, please reconsider. Ulfingar? Friend, can you please talk to the Overseer? The people of Necrom will starve without this mine.
If Sindiath had wandered in here alone and gotten herself killed, how long before the Consortium sent another to find us? A day? A week? We're lucky someone of your mettle was nearby. You have my thanks, friend. Truly. It failed the moment those Consortium hawkers chose to ignore my letters. Does Sindiath really think a Queen's gland and some elbow grease will be enough to put that place to rights? You saw what those cultists were doing. It's blighted. Finished. So it's my burden, then. Shore's bones. Those bastards are just greedy enough to risk it, aren't they? With a fresh Queen's gland. Ah! No, we'd need an army of egg hands, alchemists, a staffed garrison. The Consortium would never agree to it.
Please, can you speak with Ulfingar? I respect whatever decision he comes to, but without him, the mine may never recover. We have a real chance here. With the Queen's gland in a steady hand like Ulfingar's, we can save Anchor Egg Mine. I know it. This mine is critical to the people of Necrom. Anchor's proximity makes it a boon to the city's markets. And we're not just talking about the food produced here. Every broken shell, every quama gland, every shard of chitin has value. Of course. Having experts who know the mine well will be essential for bringing the operation back up to speed, particularly given the cultist mischief. Ulfingar saw those skeevers in action and can describe it to our alchemists firsthand. With Ulfingar's help? Yes. Without it, though, well, it will be slow going for sure. Introducing a new queen to an ailing colony is a delicate affair. The few healthy quama that remain are still loyal to the dead queen, and they won't hesitate to kill a new one unless egg handlers use the gland to mask her scent. Yes, his familiarity with this colony, his years of experience, the Consortium hired him for a reason. We only get one chance to re-queen, and I fear that a new overseer will botch the job. Then we really will have to shutter the mine for good.
The Overseer might be right. Hard to forgive the Consortium for leaving us here, but I'd do it all again if it meant I could protect my chitinous little rascals.
Without Ulfingar, me and Barlok would have never made it out of there. Whatever he chooses to do, I've got his back.
If Sindiath had wandered in here alone and gotten herself killed, how long before the Consortium sent another to find us? A day? A week? We're lucky someone of your mettle was nearby. You have my thanks, friend. Truly. It failed the moment those Consortium hawkers chose to ignore my letters. Does Sindiath really think a Queen's gland and some elbow grease will be enough to put that place to rights? You saw what those cultists were doing. It's blighted. Finished. So it's my burden then. Shore's bones. Those bastards are just greedy enough to risk it, aren't they? With a fresh queen's gland. Ah! No, we'd need an army of egg hands, alchemists, a staffed garrison. The Consortium would never agree to it. Well, I guess we'll find out. Let me see this gland. And Telson Dieth will stay on if the Consortium provides all the staff and resources I need. The moment they hedge, I'm leaving. And taking Malsa and Barlek with me. Necrom be damned.
That sounded like it went well. Please tell me you have some good news. I really need something to soften the blow of this report to my superiors at the Consortium. Oh, trust me, I'll make sure the Consortium does what is right. To send an auditor in place of soldiers? Unbelievable. The safety of the people of Necrom is my highest priority. Take my thanks, and everything that I owe you.
Good. You can start by making sure the families of those lost in the mine are properly taken care of.
Of course. Honoring those lost is the first step towards making things right. The first of many.
Regardless of what the future holds, I'm glad you wandered by the mine when you did. Too many good people died in there, but the three of us might have joined them. We're grateful that we didn't. It'll take some time before the mine can be reopened. We'll need to clear it out, find a new queen, hire on replacements. If they keep me on as overseer, I can see it reopening within a few months, but it's up to the Consortium now. You think I'd trust anyone from the Consortium to do it? No. We'll need to find better positions for Malsa and Barlek, too. They're young, but they know their stuff. And they deserve the promotion, after all that's happened to them. It's tough to say. Wringing anything out of the Consortium is like squeezing water from a stone. But she seems confident enough. Timid ones like her are always more dangerous behind a desk anyway. Some warriors prefer pens to swords.
Looks like I'll be able to take care of those little critters again after all. If my arm gets better, at any rate. Thank you for the hand back there. Drinks are on me if we ever run into you again.
If the foreman is confident about going back into the mine, then I am too. Hopefully, Dieth can keep her promise to help as well. And thank you so much for pulling us out of there.
Thank goodness you came across me when you did. I'd have completely lost my head in there without you. And I just know I'd never have been able to convince the miners to stay on by myself. The people of Necrom have you to thank, mercenary. I'll do everything in my power to try. The Consortium is obligated to serve the needs of the citizens of the peninsula, and that includes its miners. I may not be much use in a mine, but bureaucracy I can handle. Funny how anxious I used to be about such things. Ulfengar put his life on the line for his workers. The least I can do is pressure the Consortium. This is my battlefield after all. It might surprise you what a few strongly worded letters can do.
I just heard the news. King Nantharian was killed, defeated by the Legion's mercenary. Did you hear?
I can sense the power flowing through the relics. Well done! Now, Scroot and I have an idea about how to proceed. With the 3 relics that were once used to imprison Ithelia restored, we must determine where to even begin our search for the Forgotten Prince. Before we discuss the idea that Scroot and I derived, do you have anything else to report? Of course he does. But his faith in his prince has made him blind to the danger she poses to existence itself. These tears are spreading. Soon the fabric of reality may be too damaged to repair. We must find Ithelia before that happens. An idea, yes, although Scroot referred to it as a remote possibility. We should return to the loom of the untraveled road. Perhaps the Echoneer can reveal a lingering memory as to where Ithelia has gone. But, Proxy, was Curate Gadain, well? That is, I am glad that Gadain is well. But, now we must return to Fargrave and make our way to the Chamber of the Loom. I dare not open a portal there directly, as the release of power when you destroyed it has made the area unstable. This portal will take us to Fargrave.
Watch yourselves. Who knows what dangers still lurk near the loom?
Gadain, I did not expect you so soon.
I came as quickly as Scroot's trinket allowed. I want to help, however I can. Let me accompany you.
Of course. Let us make haste, Proxy.
I came as fast as I could. Scroot's trinket got me from Apocrypha to Nirn, but it deposited me some distance from this location. And I meant what I said. I want to help, any way I can.
Go through the portal, Proxy. I need a moment with Curate Gadain. We shall follow in due course. The untraveled road lies ahead of us. Stay alert for any of Miramore's Daedra. The taint of Miramore remains strong here.
I am your shield.
Night never yields!
Get closer to me,
Even currents of fate flow through me. The loop, even destroyed, destroyed, it radiates power. To think Fargrave was once a part of Ithelia's realm. Let's face your restore your strength. The path to the loom is below us. I shall open a way down. The ripples in the matrices of Magicka are more chaotic than I expected. My portal opened farther from the loom than I hoped. Let us make our way to the loom. We can use the echo near there to see if any recent memories of Ithelia remain.
Another corner of oblivion I never expected to visit. And it makes me just as uncomfortable as the other places we've traveled. I suggest we make haste, my friend. Ancestors, look at this place. I remember when the walls of the necropolis were my entire world.
Tread carefully, Gadain. I prefer not to see any harm befall you.
I still have the amulet you gave to keep me safe. I couldn't bear to part with it.
I am glad it has been helpful, and that you still have it. More than I can say. The ripples in the matrices of Magicka are more chaotic than I expected. My portal opened farther from the loom than I hoped. The loom of the untraveled road. Damaged beyond repair, but still impressive. Use the Ecomere and see what memories remain.
There's nothing salvageable, my prince.
Nothing! Damn them! Very well. If I cannot restore Miramore, I will create a new realm upon the festering corpse of Apocrypha!
Apocrypha? Proxy, we must talk. The power Ithelia absorbed when you destroyed the loom. It has turned her into the very monster Hermaeus Mora foresaw. And now she plans to challenge him can take Apocrypha for herself. I fear we may not be able to change these spiraling fates. Change does not come naturally to the Daedric princes, not like it does for mortals. That is why the one who knows sought you out. You are correct about the change, but that was the result of untold power, not a conscious effort. The result of the way events played out in those other realities, I suspect. Daedric princes have no experience with the constant evolution and transformation of mortals. They are eternal, and have no point of reference for the transient. She was confused, vulnerable. That much I grant you. That, however, is not the same as being mortal. An intriguing notion. She saw other versions of herself. Is there a way to get her to see that and attempt to change her own perspective? We must consult Scroote. This shall require all of our combined knowledge if such a possibility truly exists. Scroote awaits us at Baragon's townhouse. Let us return there at once.
Back to Tamriel? Thank the ancestors. As much as I enjoy traveling with Laramil, and you too, friend, I think I've had my fill of Oblivion Plains.
Great. But I don't see anyone carrying anything that gets us closer to saving reality. I've been doing my best to keep morale up while you were gone. But even my usually cheerful mood is under assault. More and more of those tears in reality keep appearing. We're running out of time. Did you learn anything useful at the loom? Another assault on Apocrypha? The Great Eye still hasn't recovered from the last one. We already knew that Ithelia had transformed into the monster Hermaeus Mora warned us about. I don't suppose you and Laramil have come up with a way to stop her. Daedra don't change. Daedric princes especially. It's their nature. We're not like you mortals, constantly reflecting on possibilities and remaking yourselves over and over. She's a monster, and will always be a monster. Different reflections? You mean the versions of Ithelia that Laramil told me you encountered on the many paths? She also said that when you first encountered Ithelia, she looked mortal and was confused and weak. At least by Daedric standards. You're right. Ithelia has changed, and reflecting might just be the key. I read about a relic created by a mortal wizard. A mirror that revealed the innermost thoughts and dreams of the viewer. Laramil and I must consult some ancient texts. Obviously, we're going to need something connected to Ithelia. I spotted a primordial shattered titan in the ruins of Ceyond while I was scouting instabilities. Retrieve a fragment from that ancient Daedra. We can use it to create the relic. It's very old. Ancient, even. One of the first things the Prince of Paths ever created. And it's big. How it got to the ruins of Ceyond, I have no idea. But it's there, and we can use it. Provided you can defeat it and bring back one of its shards.
I know those ruins. They're west of Skingrad.
Then let's not waste time. Let's go get this shard.
Agreed. We'll meet you there.
Heard the news. King Nantharian was killed, defeated by the Legion's mercenaries.
The ruins of Ceyond lie within this cave. Let's proceed with caution. Scroot says the Titan is somewhere in these ruins. I'll accompany our comrade. Baragon, Curate Gadain, guard the entrance.
We'll make sure the path behind you remains clear.
that a reality tear? It looks as dangerous as Scroot described. I hope Baragon doesn't get bored and decide to follow us. He really wanted to explore these ruins. That must be the Titan. Let's destroy it and gather a fragment. Titan and we can return to the others.
Fought well!
Friends, we need to get out of here.
Tears are opening up throughout the ruins. We barely made it here to warn you.
What's happening?
I warned you against interfering, mortal, but you refused to heed me. A reality tear? How fortuitous. Let this be the end of fate's chosen.
Friends, look out!
Curate Gadain! He's... gone.
Mourn later. We must get this fragment back to the others.
I just heard the news. King Nantharian was killed, defeated by the Legion's mercenary. And did you...
Maybe? Nothing like this has ever been attempted.
It has to work, Scroot. There are no other options. Ah, here comes our proxy. Where is Gadain? I see you and our allies have returned safely with a fragment of the Miramor Titan. But where is Curate Gadain? No, that cannot be. He had my amulet, and you were there, and Baragon, and Tribuna Leia. There must be some mistake. Gadain, he cannot be gone. I understand, Proxy. Please leave me for a moment. Talk to Scroot. I must process this news.
Mortals die. That's literally the meaning of the word. I'll never understand your transient emotions. Whatever. We all face non-existence if we don't do something about Ithelia and the reality tears. You secured the fragment? Definitely part of an ancient Miramor Titan. It should serve nicely as the focal point of the ritual Laramil and I developed. As soon as she collects herself, Laramil will guide you through the process. No. This is something that you and Laramil need to do together. Your fate's chosen, and she's a magic user who can see the threads of fate. I'm just a watchling with delusions of grandeur and a bad attitude. Laramil will help you. She has to.
Scroot is correct. This falls to you and me, Proxy. Place the fragment in the center of the ritual circle. Excellent. Now place Abolisher, the Lamp of Clarity, and the Skein of Secrets around the fragment. Align the threads of fate with the ritual. It is done. We have created a mirror of truth.
It really worked? Huh. Maybe we do have a chance.
Come, Proxy. We must speak. Despite the loss of Curate Cadane, you recovered a fragment filled with the essence of Miramor, and we successfully created a new relic, the Mirror of Truth. The time to mourn shall come later, provided we stop Ithelia and reality survives. Yes, he most definitely would. I can see the threads of fate coalescing to a point. We near the end of this path, and whatever awaits us. You have done well as Fate's chosen. Take this reward and gather yourself. I shall do the same. Ithelia has become the threat that Hermaeus Mora foresaw, racing to Apocrypha to take the realm as her own. And with each passing moment, reality breaks down a little more. Time grows ever shorter, Proxy. You restore the original relics used to capture and imprison Ithelia. And we created the Mirror of Truth to try to show her the monster she has become. All we need to do now is travel to Apocrypha and locate her. Apocrypha, like all Oblivion realms, is infinite. But we have the Skein of Secrets. I shall open a portal. Use the Skein once we cross into the realm and see if it can pinpoint Ithelia's location. Gather the relics, Proxy. We shall have need of them. Gather the relics, Proxy. Then I shall open a portal to the realm of the one who knows.